Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 12th of March, 2019, excuse me, because I'm caught in my throat, to talk Smackdown Live. I thought tonight's Smackdown Live was a pretty good show, actually more than pretty good. I thought it was really good, actually. I thought the whole show, just like last night's Raw, flowed really well. Everything did what it was supposed to do. Everything was effective. We had some really good segments, especially with AJ and Randy Orton, with the New Day at the very end with Vince. I thought it all did really well. So, let's see who is with us here in the live chat as we let people trickle in before we start talking SmackDown Live. We've got Ariane Banks, I hope I said that right, Joshua Ivy, Beastie Boy, Noah Hall, Lowell Cruz, John McDonald, Lil Homie Mouse, Ruben, I'm gonna butcher your last name, bud, Verastegui. I hope I said that right. We got the Boss 25, Robbie Rich, Derek Bocek, Stevie Ray, Jeff Guevara, Mark Sanchez, E-Boogie. What is going on, everybody? I want to know from you guys in the live chat what you guys thought of tonight's SmackDown Live. Also, if you're watching later on YouTube, let us know in the comments. And if you're listening later on iTunes, thank you. Leave us a review. We will be taking calls after we talk about SmackDown. If you do want to call in later on, you can do so at 559-475-8473. Again, 559-475-8473. If you do want to call in and give your thoughts on SmackDown once we do run it down. If you can't call in, that's fine. You can leave us a super chat here on YouTube and get your question answered that way, or you can text it in to 510-906-1341. Again, you can text in your questions at 510-906-1341. So with that, SmackDown Live kicked off tonight with Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon came down, and he was announced as the best in the world Shane McMahon. They had the best in the world trophy in the ring with him, and he made Greg Hamilton say it a couple times. And I think Shane's new thing is going to be grabbing people by the face. He did it to the Miz's dad, George Mizanin, did it to Hamilton. So I think that's going to be Shane's new thing, is he's going to grab people by the face. I don't know if I like it. It was funny, though, when Shane first came out, because the crowd, you hear Shane's music, here comes the money, here we go, and the crowd pops really quick. Like, oh, Shane McMahon's music, heck yeah, we're supposed to pop. Oh, wait, never mind. Boo, we don't like this guy anymore. I thought that was kind of funny. Actually, that was pretty funny, actually. So, with that, Shane came down, talked about everything that took place at Fastlane. McMahon called the announcer into the ring, like I said, to reintroduce him. Where was I? He did this a couple times. All right, there we go. He said he's tired of all the people that have tried to use him over the years, just like The Miz did. He said, it used to always be about them. But that stopped on Sunday when he beat down The Miz, and he said it, I kicked The Miz's ass. McMahon said that he's the best in the world because he was born that way. He said from this point, going forward, he's going to start doing it all for himself. He said it felt so good beating down Miz, kicking his ass right in front of his father. He pointed out that Miz works for him. He then said, Miz, this isn't a challenge. This isn't a request. This is me telling you that I'm going to continue to kick your ass when we have a match at WrestleMania. So, he said on the grandest stage of them all, Miz is getting his ass kicked. So we got Shane McMahon versus The Miz official for WrestleMania on April 7th. And the thing with this one is a lot of people always complain, why is Shane getting put in all these high-profile matches? Shane doesn't need a high-profile match. Shane doesn't need to be in there with Undertaker and AJ Styles and all that. So you put him in there with The Miz, it's still going to be a high-profile match to an extent because it's a Shane match. But the fact of the matter is you've got the guy that people say shouldn't be put in matches taking the space of, somebody else that could, like with the AJ thing. Everyone was like, AJ can have such a better opponent. And then a lot of people say the same thing about The Miz. Oh, The Miz is in there. He's in a spot where a guy can have a better opponent. So you put those guys together, boom, there you go. Miz, Shane in a match together. No one's going to really complain. I mean, I think both guys are going to work really hard. Shane's going to try and jump off of something or coast to coast some. I don't know. Shane's going to try something dumb. So with that going forward, we got a big 8-man tag team match. It was the Hardys, Aleister Black and Ricochet, taking on the team of The Bar, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought this match was really, really good. Black and Nakamura were great together in the ring. Their exchanges looked just amazing. So, like I said, Black and Nakamura started off the match. Ricochet got a hot tag and hit a standing moonsault for a near fall. Cesaro distracted Jeff Hardy, and Sheamus rocked him with a clothesline to take over. Jeff Hardy started playing the babyface in peril. Heels isolated Jeff in their corner. Ricochet got tagged in again and nailed Rusev with a standing dropkick. He went for a springboard, but Rusev nailed him, and he fell to the floor. Matt Hardy came in and ran wild on Cesaro. Sheamus hit a brogue kick on Matt. Jeff then hit a twist of fate and a swanton right onto Cesaro hard. Should have been the finish, but no. Sheamus, Rusev, and Nakamura all got in for the save. All broke up the cover. I thought that was pretty clever. At this point, all 8 guys just started brawling when the New Day hit the ring for some weird reason. New Day cleared house of both the baby faces and the heels. There you go. New Day rocks chance and Kofi chance. Kofi hit a assisted Trouble in Paradise on Rusev. Assisted in the fact of if you didn't see it. So Big E and Xavier have Rusev. Kofi's in the corner. They whip Rusev towards Kofi. Kofi runs at Rusev. They meet in the middle. Trouble in Paradise. Boom. There you go. I thought this was going to be something we'd see more of tonight. Like, Vince, you're screwing with us. You're screwing with Kofi, so we're going to mess up all your matches. But it was only the one time. We didn't see them again till the end. So it's kind of a letdown that this didn't play out more. But it's all good. So in the back, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the Usos, bragged about winning the titles at Fastlane, or retaining the titles of Fastlane, my bad. They said that they're not afraid of any team and wondered which team's coming next. To be honest, I said this on Twitter, I'm having WrestleMania 20 vibes as far as at WrestleMania 20, both Raw and SmackDown had fatal 4-way tag team title matches. So it looks like we could be getting that as well to at this year's WrestleMania. And the funny thing is it looks like Aleister Black and Ricochet could be in both matches. So we'll see. So next up, probably my favorite thing of the night, Randy Orton made his way down to the ring. Orton noted that AJ Styles calls this the house that AJ Styles built. But Orton pointed out that he's been here since his career started, and Styles only came here a few years ago. Orton said in 2005, he took on The Undertaker at WrestleMania while Styles was in Florida getting a tan with Dixie Carter. Orton then pointed out that he's been a world champion in 2005, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all these years. So SmackDown is really the house that he built. He was the man running SmackDown for many, many years. This then did bring out AJ Styles. Styles pointed out that for someone who looks down on the indies, he's paid a lot of attention to AJ's career. Styles said that he's proud to have come from the indies. He also said a line about, look at all the guys in the back now. A lot of them came from where I came from. Styles noted that Orton wouldn't have made it on the indies using a rip-off diamond cutter, and that he got his job because he called Daddy to get him a job in WWE. Styles said that his indie friends are all around, like I stated. Styles pointed out that, that Orton got handed everything. That Orton needed Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista's help to be somebody. Styles said that he's not going to be Orton's next victim. He said, yeah, you're the Viper and you're Hall of Fame worthy and all that, but I'm not going to be your next victim. Orton said, you know what? If this is the house that I really built, I'm the landlord and rent's due. Styles then said, okay, you want to go at it? Let's do it at WrestleMania. And Orton left without giving an answer. Well, I thought that was very, very effective. Got me really wanting to see that match. Dream match for many decades. Maybe not many decades, but for at least a decade, it's a dream match. Because you always thought, you watch AJ in WWE and you think, man, I'd love to see AJ against this guy. I'd love to see AJ against this guy from WWE and this guy from WWE. Yeah, some guys like Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy and others from WWE went to TNA, but you never got guys like Randy Orton going to TNA. And for both of these guys to just be as great in the ring as they are, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they pull off at WrestleMania, because this could be a show-stealing match if Randy's, putting in over 100%. Randy's going to come and do his best or whatnot, but sometimes, maybe not normally at WrestleMania, but sometimes Orton kind of just goes out there and does what he wants. So we'll see how it all does go, but I think these guys can have one of the better matches of the night. It's going to be similar kind of to like the Randy Orton-Seth Rollins match that he did have at WrestleMania 31. So I'm excited about this match for sure. Probably one of my more anticipated matches. So then Asuka, in a non-title match, took on Sonya Deville. Asuka was firmly in control early with a series of kicks. Deville rolled up Asuka for a 2. Deville briefly took over when Asuka missed a crossbody. Asuka sent Deville to the floor. Rose checked on Deville, but Asuka hit a sliding dropkick. Deville was standing on the apron, and Rose pulled down the ring apron skirt, and Deville slipped. Asuka nailed her with a kick and applied the Asuka lock for the victory. After the match, Rose and Deville kind of teased dissension yet again. Deville blamed Mandy for messing up. Mandy said, hey, it was an accident. I didn't do anything on purpose. I wasn't trying to mess with you. The two kind of went back and forth. They couldn't really hear what they were saying, and then they walked off. $2 super chat donation from Irish Raw 94 says, what do you think of the new WWE signees? You talking about the 3 that were announced earlier this week? Because if that's what you're talking about, we'll probably talk about them tomorrow night on the Wednesday show. So in the back, we had a very nice promo from the Iconics. This is kind of like old, it's very old school, early 90s deal, where you would have a wrestler or a tag team just standing in front of a plain backdrop. Sometimes it said WWF Superstars. And they're just cutting a promo about what they want. And they were just like, we're here. We want to challenge the women's tag team champions, Sasha Banks and Bayley, if they ever do want to show up at Smackdown. Because we think we could do it. We think we could be the ones to take them and take the titles from them. And I thought this was very effective because it was just, here's what we want. Here's what we're going to do. Can we do it? We think we can. Boom, boom, boom. Straight to the point. I loved this. I wish they do more of this. Not those goofy, whacking cell phone promos. No. Do these where you're just looking straight at the camera, telling us what we want, and there we go. But they still had to get their whole iconic thing in at the end. So Becky Lynch came down to the ring and did what I thought she should have done at Fastlane. She walks out on the stage, looks all around the crowd, and throws the crutch. Limps down to the ring. Big ol' smile on her face. I thought she should have done that at Fastlane. Throw the crutch. She said the man is back, and back in the main event of WrestleMania. She pointed out that she had to earn her way into this match twice. First, by winning the Royal Rumble, and then playing Ronda Rousey like a fiddle. She said it's hard to play mind games with somebody that doesn't have a brain. She said she got in Ronda's head, and she played right into Lynch's plan. Charlotte would then come out and interrupt. Made her way down to the ring. Flair said that it's one thing to be hot for 6 months, but she's been hot for 4 years. She's been running this division. She's the chosen one because she can get the job done. She said the fans and Rousey feel sorry for Becky. Flair and Lynch, they both got handouts. No, Rousey and Lynch both got handouts. My bad. She's going to make Becky and Rousey irrelevant come WrestleMania because they will all bow down to the queen. Lynch said that they never needed a queen. They've always needed a man. And that was basically it. We're devoting 5 minutes of SmackDown to a Raw segment, a Raw match, a Raw championship build. I don't like it. I get the people that say, well, technically they're still on the SmackDown roster. No. If they're in the mix for the Raw Women's Championship, then this needed to happen on Raw. This needed to take place over there on Monday Night Raw. I don't get why SmackDown's already got one less hour than Raw, but you got to devote 5, 6, 7 minutes to a Raw segment, a match for WrestleMania that's from Raw. I just don't like that. So in the back, Kayla Braxton was standing out in front of Vince McMahon, well, the McMahon family office. Daniel Bryan and Rowan would then exit the office. She asked Bryan what he was in there doing, talking to Vince. He said that he gave Vince McMahon his honest feedback about Kofi Kingston. He then announced that Vince made a match, him and Rowan, versus Mustafa Ali and Kevin Owens. So then in what was supposed to be a championship match, it was supposed to be Samoa Joe defending against R-Truth, was turned into a tag team match. Rey Mysterio and Truth taking on the team of Samoa Joe and Andrade. So the faces had the early advantage. Truth lifted up Mysterio, who then hit a Hurricane Rana on Andrade. Mysterio set up the 619, but Joe made the blind tag and took out Mysterio. The heels isolated Rey on their side of the ring and cut him off from getting able to tag in Truth. Andrade hit the Three Amigos on Mysterio, but he countered with a Canadian Destroyer. Zelina Vega tried to stop Mysterio from making the tag, but Carmella pulled her out of the ring. Truth then got a hot tag and ran wild for a minute. He hit a 5-knuckle shuffle on Joe. Mysterio then hit a 619 on both Joe and Andrade at the same time. Mysterio had Andrade pinned, but Joe broke it up with the senton. Joe then went for a Uranagi on Mysterio, but Mysterio countered into a roll-up, pinning the WWE United States Champion. And at first, when I saw Rey pin Joe, I'm thinking, Rey versus Joe Mania, that's not bad. But then, after the match, Joe decided, fuck it, I'm going to beat down everybody. He hit a Uranagi on Truth, hit a Uranagi on Andrade. Rey scampered out of there. And so now my thought is, don't give me another 4-way. But if you're trying to get all these guys into a U.S. title match, there's your ladder match right there. You've got Joe defending the title. Him losing right now is fine. I like that. It's building it up as these guys can beat him. However the match goes, they can beat him. But we'll have to see how it plays out at Mania. But you do the ladder match. You've got Joe. You've got Rey. You've got Andrade. You've got Truth. Throw 2 more guys in there. Maybe a Kevin Owens. Maybe a Mustafa Ali. Who else is on SmackDown? I don't know. Throw Owens in there. Throw Mustafa Ali so they don't get relegated to the pre-show battle royal. There's your ladder match for WrestleMania. Bada boom. I think that could be just an amazing match. We're probably not getting the ladder match at TakeOver like we did last year. So that's fine. You don't have to do, because they're not going to do ladder match TakeOver and a ladder match at Mania as we saw last year. So, U.S. title, ladder match, please book that. Excuse me. So then we got Daniel Bryan and Rowan taking on the team of Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. And I don't know what happened here, but early on, Owens and Rowan didn't really look that good together. Bryan and Owens did start off the match, though, looking really good together. Owens hit a senton, but Bryan tagged in Rowan. Ali attempted a crossbody, but Rowan caught him. Ali fought back, but the heels took over and isolated Ali on their side of the ring. Bryan applied the label lock, but Ali made it to the ropes. Bryan reminded the referee that he has until 5 to make the break. Ali tried to make the tag, but Bryan stopped him. Ali hit the backstabber on Bryan for a near fall. A little later on, Rowan got tagged in. He applied the Iron Claw on Ali for the victory. So I think this is good because we've seen Rowan lose a lot as the quote-unquote protector of Daniel Bryan. And when you've got a guy that's supposed to be the protector and he's the one that takes the pinfall all the time, who's going to believe that he's a threat? So I liked him picking up a victory here. It doesn't have to be a lot of victories, but every couple of weeks maybe he pulls out a victory here and there. So as Bryan and Rowan made their way to the back, Vince McMahon came out and we go to commercial. Come back from commercial and Vince was in the ring. He said he's here to give the people and Kofi what they wanted. He's going to give Kofi Kingston an opportunity at a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. Now Vince said, listen to how I word things. Basically said it would behoove you to listen to how I say things, not what you think I say. He then showed a recap from Fastlane. With that, he said, I never said that I'm putting Kofi in the championship match. I said I'll make it a 3-way. But one thing that I misheard at Fastlane. So Fastlane, I thought he said, triple threat for the WWE Championship? Great. That's next. Or your match. I thought he told Kofi, your match is next. But actually, what he said, he goes, triple threat, I can do that. I can make a triple threat for the WWE Championship. That's next. He did say that's next, but he never told Kofi, you're in the match. He just said, triple threat for the WWE Championship? Sure. So, New Day come down. They weren't dancing. They weren't skipping. They were just beelined in the ring. They were on a mission. Kofi had this weird look on his face for most of this. Just like, I'm sad. I'm mad. I don't know how to feel right now. I've got all these different emotions. And so Big E and Xavier did a lot of the talking. Xavier was okay, but Big E really came off like, whew. I thought he was going to punch Vince. So Big E said that they're not in the mood to listen to McMahon. They pointed out everything that they do for Vince. They never complain. They never threaten to leave. They never say no. And Big E said that Kingston's been in the WWE for 11 years and deserves more than what he's ever gotten. McMahon said Kofi doesn't deserve anything. He said the fans don't deserve anything. I myself, Vince McMahon, don't even deserve anything. Big E said that this is bigger than the New Day. He said, Vince, this is even bigger than your ego. McMahon said that was impossible. Oops, sorry. Big E said the fans demanded that Kofi get the opportunity to compete for the WWE Championship, and the fans broke out in a Kofi chant. McMahon spoke straight directly to Kofi. He said, if you were worthy, you would have got this already. You would have got this a long time ago if you deserved it. He said, Kofi, there's no doubt you're a future Hall of Famer. But you'll never go in on your own. You'll go in as a member of New Day. My first thought was, well, yeah. I don't see any of these 3 guys going in as singles. But as the New Day, if they need to go in the Hall of Fame eventually. Like they were one of the greatest acts of the last 20 years. As far as like stable tag teams go. Then Vince said the only way he can get in with is with a New Day. McMahon said that I talked to Daniel Bryan. This was a great line. He said Daniel Bryan pointed out something good to me. You're nothing more than a B+ player. What was Stephanie always telling Daniel Bryan? She would always say, Daniel, I'm sorry, but you're nothing more than a B+ player. So now for Daniel Bryan to be saying that about Kofi, I loved that line because now Daniel thinks I'm the champion. I'm the A+ player. Kofi, he don't deserve nothing. He's B. He's a B+. So I loved that line and the symbolism of Daniel Bryan being the one to say that. Woods and Big E got right in McMahon's face, but Kofi stopped them. Kofi talked about his 11 years in WWE. He knows he's worthy, but McMahon doesn't see it. He said that he never complains about anything. He busts his ass for Vince McMahon and doesn't even bat an eye. He said, I don't complain when I miss things with my family. He said, I've missed birthdays. I've missed weddings. I missed when my son lost his first tooth. And then the next morning when he realized that the tooth fairy came and left him $1, I missed that. He said, we went to Mumbai for you to represent this company last week. Did we even hesitate? No. He said, I've never even been trick-or-treating with my kids. Why? Because I'm here. He said, I'm not going to complain, but I want to know. He said, Vince, tell me right now what I need to do to get this match. To get this match at WrestleMania. And out would come Randy Orton. Before anybody could say anything, out would come Samoa Joe. Out would come Bar, and out would come Rowan. McMahon would then tell Kofi, you know what? The way you can earn that match at WrestleMania is if you defeat all of these guys, all of these men, next week on SmackDown in a gauntlet match. Heels ran down to the ring. A big old brawl broke out, and the New Day cleared house. Cleared all the heels. They gave Cesaro that assisted at Trouble in Paradise. And now we know next week on SmackDown, an hour of the show will be devoted to Kofi having to run the gauntlet again, but this time having to win. Kofi will have to go up against Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Rowan. So this is going to be very interesting. I see Kofi winning, of course. It's blatantly obvious that Kofi will come out victorious here and pick up the victory. So I thought it was very effective. The New Day and their promos, especially Big E and Kofi, came off really, really good. It was just like, you know, I don't say much. You say jump, I say how high. But I'm done with that. I've jumped high enough, basically, is what Kofi said. So with that, now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys thought about tonight's SmackDown Live. Or if you have questions about something else, let me know. You could do so by calling 559-475-8473. You can also text in your questions and your comments and your concerns to 510-906-1341. Excuse me. But before we do that, we've got some new t-shirts. Technically, it's one t-shirt, but two variations we want to unveil to you guys right now is this t-shirt. You may have seen either here on YouTube on the community tab or on our Twitter. I asked you guys, I said, what's your favorite weapon used in hardcore matches? Because we've got a new t-shirt coming out. It's called Weapon of Choice. Make it hardcore. You can head over to the PW Unlimited TeePublic store now. Excuse me, the TeePublic store now to pick up this shirt. If you pick up this shirt or the cell phone cover, pick it up as a sticker, pick it up as a pillow, pick it up as a, I think I got it as like tapestry, wall art, tank top. If you get it within the next 3 days, it's actually discounted at 30%. That price will go up after the first initial 3 days. So if you guys do want to check this shirt out, if you do like this shirt, then head over to the Pro Wrestling Unlimited TeePublic store now. Link is in the description, also in the live chat, or you can go over to our website and just hit merch store, I think it is at the top of the website, or you could just go over to what is it? pwunlimited.net. I think it's slash. Give me 1 second. Yeah, just go to the link. Sorry, for some reason I had an external link, but it's not working. But go over to the link in the description below, or just head over to our website, and you can hit the link at the very top of the website as well. It just says Shop PWU. Head over there, check out the shirt. Again, with TeePublic, you can get our, not just as shirts, you can get it as a shirt, a hoodie, a tank top, but then there's other variations, a coffee mug, a sticker, a cell phone case. So if you do like this design, go over to the TeePublic store, check it out, see what other options there are, and let me know your thoughts. With that, let's take a call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Fine. Not fine. Yeah, I just have a few questions here. Well, I had one actually about last night for Monday Night Raw. Just a question, one question, regarding Drew McIntyre. Now, obviously, well, I mean, you might have heard that they're getting, they're quote unquote supposed to give him a big push in 2019. Now, from what I've seen, I've thought that they were gonna give. At first, I thought that they were gonna do it, but then that's when he started losing to like Dolph Ziggler, and he started losing like, every other week or every week. But now, now that he's, I feel like he's coming back, and he's working his way back up. So, what do you see them doing with McIntyre as far as WrestleMania?
I mean, you said that they're quote unquote supposed to give him a big push in 2019. No one knows what they're supposed to do, because there's nothing that WWE is supposed to do. To be honest, they come up with all the rules. It's all what they want to do, not what they're supposed to do. They have nobody telling them what to do. But either way, we heard last year that they were going to give Drew McIntyre a big push. And what happened? He was a lackey. He was a lackey to Dolph Ziggler. He was a lackey to Baron Corbin. So yeah, I want to see great things for Drew McIntyre. I say it all the time. If you look at what a pro wrestler should be, should look like, should act like, should wrestle like, a heavyweight pro wrestler is Drew McIntyre. That's your mold.
Right.
That's your baseline mold. Him and Randy Orton. And
yeah, most definitely.
And so I think he does deserve to be right up there. Maybe not yet as the Universal Champion. I mean, I'd put the title on him now. But if they're not ready yet, at least have him up there facing the top guys or challenging for the Universal Championship. Whether he's the number 3 guy, just at least as long as he's not the one that's the lackey anymore. Because I hate how he's just doing what other people are telling him to do, what Dolph was telling him to do, what Corbin was telling him to do. Now, as he said on Monday, his new goal is to take out each member of the Shield one by one. Well,
I think that they do a one-on-one match, him and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think that's where they're going.
That's the direction they're going right now. Yes.
Now, as far as SmackDown Live for tonight, week by week, I watch it. I even talk about it on my own radio show. I tell them, I'm very, very frustrated with the tag team division. Like, it's, you just see like the same people fight every week. The Usos, the Bar, the New Day. I'm watching this match tonight, and I did not even want to watch the match, because I'm like, where's the Colognes? Where's Sanity? And where's, there's another team I can't remember offhand, but
Gallows and Anderson.
Yes. Where are they? And it's just like it's very frustrating, and I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't even want to watch this match. So it's what do you? And I'm hearing that they're going to give the Hardy Boys a title shot at WrestleMania.
Now,
what are your thoughts?
That was what they have teased. The Hardys versus the Usos had been teased the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, but now the way everything's been going, I said it earlier, I think they're going to do a big multi-team match. I think they're going to do it with both Raw and both SmackDown, just like we saw back at WrestleMania 20 when both Raw and SmackDown had fatal four-way matches for both the Raw Tag Team titles and the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So I think that may be the direction they're going to go for the SmackDown and the Raw tag team divisions at WrestleMania.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I don't even remember them doing that. But I have one last question. The whole main event for WrestleMania with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda. Now, a lot of people are buying into the whole storyline as far as like Ronda Rousey talking outside of WWE, saying it's fake, and with her that whole video that came out.
Right
now, a lot of people believe that it's off script and she's going off script, but I personally I don't think it's off script. It's all part of the story, and like a lot of people were saying, and I'm one of those people. They're just eating it up. They're just what are your thoughts? Do you think it's part of the story, or do you think it's off script?
I think it's part of the story. I don't think Ronda is going to go out there and say anything that they don't want her to say. She may say it in her own way, but she's not going to go out there and do anything against their wishes. She's going to play by the rules. She's going to play by the book. She's going to go out there. She's going to cut the promo that she thinks is going to be the most effective, that they also think is going to be the most effective to get over their match at WrestleMania as the main event, as the biggest match of the night.
Yeah, I keep telling everybody that's it's part of the story, and Vince and them, and Triple H, they're just doing a really good job. Now, I have heard that they want to Fox wants to get away from the whole PG era. Now I'm kind of seeing like that happening now. I don't know if you notice a trend. I kind of see them like curse every now and then, or I see them cursing a little bit more, and I see them getting further and further away from that PG.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I want to say thank you for the call. I do believe that with Fox wanting them to step it up and be a little more real, that this could be a good thing for everything, both Raw and SmackDown, because they're not going to do more of this realism on Raw or on SmackDown, but not do it on Raw. So I think, all things considered, if they end up going in that direction, then it's going to be good for everybody. Now, as far as moving away from PG, maybe making this show TV-14, I don't think there's going to be too many things that they're going to actually do at the TV-14 rating that you wouldn't be able to do at a PG rating anyways. So, let's take another call. Calls are coming in like crazy. Caller in the air, what's going on?
Hi, Tim. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, yourself?
That's good. So, the last segment on SmackDown tonight was Kofi Kingston and stuff. Will Kofi Kingston win next Tuesday? Obviously, I think he will.
You're asking if I think he'll win the gauntlet match?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But can you see him parting away from the New Day?
No.
After he wins a belt or something? Okay.
He ain't winning that belt at WrestleMania.
No. Or maybe like some time later this year he can win Money in the Bank and cash in.
No, I really don't think they're going to go all the way with Kofi. I think they're going to go as far as they can with him without winning the belt.
Right. But if he does win the belt, that'd be really shocking, though.
It would be, but he doesn't. If hypothetically he does, he doesn't have to break away with the New Day. He could be the WWE champion, and you still have Xavier and Big E as the tag team going for the tag titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, the other thing with Shane McMahon. Now, back in December, when they all decided to be in charge, like, I thought they would never turn heel. Like, what happened to that? Like, was Shane McMahon turned?
They went back to their original storyline. Originally, when Shane won the quote-unquote Best in the World tournament, that was all for him to turn heel. They diverted from that a little bit, but then they said, you know what? We're going to stick to our original plan. Shane and Miz, with Shane as the heel, let's do it. And they stuck to a plan that they actually made, let's see, November, December, January, February. They made 4 months ago. They actually stuck to a plan. They kind of diverted from it a little bit, but they came back to it and paid it off.
Yeah. Now, like, as like after that match, like after WrestleMania between them, do you can you like see like Shane McMahon like screwing over people like out of matches or like belts by saying like you can't have this match or you can't have that match or something?
No, because we already have Vince doing that. We don't need two McMahons doing the same thing, basically.
Yeah, like maybe like a Authority 2.0.
Yeah, no, I don't
Which he was
see
weird.
both Vince and Shane doing that. I could see it. You know, we've already got Vince saying, "No, you don't deserve this," or "I'm going to pull you from that," or this. And I think we've already got one. We don't need two.
No. All right, thanks, Tim.
All right, thanks for the call and have a great night. All right, let's check out the text messages. Got a number of text messages here. From this text message says from 517, what's up with WWE talking about the indie scene as of late? Trying to put more realism into it. Trying to, without naming other promotions, trying to give more realism as far as, you know, some of these guys didn't just start with WWE. They came from somewhere else. And even ever since AJ came into the WWE, one of the things Corey Graves has always said was AJ Styles, before coming here, he was a champion in Japan. He held the same championship in Japan that Brock Lesnar held, trying to give him credibility as far as if he can hold a championship that Brock once held, this guy's got to be great. So it's not the first time that they've brought up the Indies or some company outside of WWE. Of course, with Kurt Angle, they've mentioned Dixie Carter. They've mentioned TNA and stuff with Kurt Angle before. So this isn't really the first time. 985 here says, can we maybe see crazy finish in Styles versus Orton match like a springboard 450 into an RKO? Oh, for sure. I mean, remember WrestleMania 31 where Seth went for the stomp. Randy stood up, launched Seth Rollins like 7 feet up in the air and hit him with an RKO. I can see something crazy, some crazy RKO transition in this match for sure. 708 says, will Vince break up the New Day? Probably not, or at least not anytime soon. They still make him a very lot of money. Um, 281 says, Naomi versus Asuka at Mania. Naomi can pull out a great match. That's what I've been saying. If you want to do just a straight singles match with Asuka with a SmackDown Live championship, the women's championship on the line, then you go Naomi. The two can work really well together. They're both great athletes. Asuka, if something happens where Naomi's not having a great match, because she's not, you know, there's women that are better than her. There's days we've seen Naomi not on her game. But Asuka's good enough where she can pull her right all together. So I think those two could do a really good match together. 817 says, when can we see the Boston Hut Connection on SmackDown Live? Since they're giving some hints with the Iconics. Now, here's my thing. I was going to mention this earlier and I forgot. My thing is, if you're the women's tag team champions and you say that you'll defend your titles on any brand, then why aren't they always on SmackDown, or at least shown backstage letting us know they're at SmackDown? Because what if 1 week they do this whole thing like they did yesterday on Raw, and then this week the Iconics come out? Instead of doing their backstage promo, they come out and want to challenge the women's tag team champions. They'll look like geeks when they come out and say, we want to challenge Asuka or Bayley and Sasha Banks. But then Bayley and Sasha Banks don't come out because they're not there. So I think Bayley and Sasha need to be on Raw and be on SmackDown. Or at least let us know that they're, quote-unquote, there every single week. So that way, it's not just like, oh, the Raw women's... These are the Raw Women's Tag Team titles, not the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So I hope they do show up on SmackDown soon. They were at the last set of NXT tapings. They were at an NXT house show last week, so they're doing stuff there. 514 says, at an event in Saudi Arabia this May, should there be a match, the winner should get a title shot at SummerSlam. I mean, they could do something like that. I thought that's what they should have done with the Greatest Royal Rumble. You have the regular Royal Rumble that gives you a match at WrestleMania. So the Greatest Royal Rumble should have gave you the championship match at SummerSlam. But we'll see. I don't know if they'll go that route. I would. 248 says, do you think the Horsewomen will debut at WrestleMania? What he's asking is, do I think that Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir will debut to help Ronda at WrestleMania? No. Because Ronda's not going to win. If they were to debut and unsuccessfully help Ronda, that's bad on them because then they just look like geeks. So, I don't think they'll debut at WrestleMania. If you do want to call in and give your thoughts, 559-475-8473. Again, 559-475-8473. If you do want to call in and let us know what you thought of tonight's SmackDown Live. Take this call right here. Caller in the air, what's going on?
Hey, Tim, what's going on?
Not much.
Oh, man. I was going to say, SmackDown, it was a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was a very watchable show.
I'd probably give it an 8.
Well, I really like the Randy Orton AJ Styles thing.
Yep.
It just kind of, it really came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, Orton comes out like early in the show, and then he says it's his house. Like, I mean, in all his points that he made was in kayfabe was very valid.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, yeah. Ever since the brand split, AJ's been one of the top guys, but Orton's came and thought, but I really think that could be a good match. And what's funny is when you said that right before Orton, the whole Orton, kind of doing whatever the hell he wants. I was just thinking that, and then 2 seconds before he said that, I'm like, oh well, I think that this is very similar to the Seth Rollins match he had a couple years ago. It's just like a guy, it's a battle for supremacy, even though Seth had a lot better things coming that night. But
yeah, I think the styles of both Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are pretty similar. So Randy knows what he's getting into working with AJ. He's worked with guys like this before, with Seth Rollins, with Jeff Hardy and all that. The high flying, more aggressive high flying style. So I think Randy will do well with AJ, and this could be one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah, it could very well steal the show, maybe behind a couple other matches. But next thing I got to tell you about is I tell you, I say you had that poll, who's more over right now, who's bigger, Kofi or Becky, and I'm gonna say right now Kofi. And
oh, for sure.
I think Becky has lost her momentum, not only momentum, but her popularity in the past 3 weeks. I mean, she's still very, very popular, and you could tell by tonight she gets crowd reactions for sure. She gets more crowd reactions than more than other people, but
right.
She's for sure gone down in the huge pops Kofi's getting right now.
I feel like they killed her momentum completely at Fastlane when they told us she can't win, so Ronda had to come help her.
Yeah. Now she'll still probably win at WrestleMania.
Oh, for
I think
sure.
It's still the right call. Which is still the right call because she is still very, very over, even though Kofi, I mean, it's like a thing. It's like as long as that's the main event, Kofi can lose, because I don't see Kofi as change material. No offense, I love Kofi, but and then they can kind of give us Becky.
Yeah, Becky should. I think Becky's winning at Mania. If they don't, fans are gonna riot like it's a Roman Reigns match.
Exactly, but hey, my last thing is I want to hear your opinion on this. I feel like I was thinking about this today. When I was in class, I was wondering, this would be kind of funny. I have a little fantasy booking now. I'm for Samoa Joe. Now I know that since they're probably going with either a multi-man match or just Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania, which could be very, very, very good as well. But I have a scenario where they can get John Cena involved, and this is very stupid, and this doesn't have to be any realistic, but maybe R-Truth comes out, and Carmelo says, hey, Truth, here's your hero, and Cena comes out and surprises the crowd, and, quote unquote surprises R-Truth, and then, they're all saying they want to be a tag team, and Samoa Joe just comes out and just rips on him, and then that's how you get Cena into WrestleMania.
I mean, I can kind
It'd be funny.
I can see something like that. Maybe more along the lines of Truth and Joe having a match, and then Truth getting beat down, and so his hero John Cena comes to his rescue.
That'd be kind of funny because I enjoy comedy. So sometimes with my pro wrestling, and I feel like the whole R-Truth thing, having his quote unquote hero be John Cena, that's just really funny to me.
But I think if they're gonna do anything with Cena, it needs to be the angle match because there's all things that tie back together. Because Cena's first match on the main roster was against Kurt Angle. But I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night. You
too, man. Thanks for taking my call as always.
Not a problem. All right, so we got another text message here. 817 says, is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson going to stay at home like Neville because they haven't used them in a good way? No, they're just not being used. Everything we're hearing is they're looking to leave the company when their contracts do expire this fall. But it's not the fact of they're going to sit at home because they're upset like Neville was. It's literally they're just not being used. 619 here in the text line says, so let me ask you something. Who do you have at Mania, Dave or Hunter? My opinion, I have Hunter. It's got to be Triple H. It's going to be Batista's last match ever. He's going to do the job. He's going to lose to Triple H. Plain and simple. Let's take our final call. Calling on the air. What's going on?
Tim?
Yes.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm in a live stream.
What's going on, bud?
I got 2 questions. Hello?
Go for it.
Okay, so Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar, are they going to be gone after this WrestleMania?
Ronda is supposedly taking time off after WrestleMania. As far as Brock's schedule after Mania, nobody knows.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I forgot the second question. Well, I also have another question. Except what happened to the whole no rematch clause with the World Championship? Then after R2, then like a rematch for Samoa Joe or something like that.
All right. I'm gonna have to cut you off your phone. You're in a windstorm or something. He's asking about the no rematch clause. We talk about this on every podcast. It's just they said no rematches, then they give rematches, and some guys don't get rematches. It's called WWE being inconsistent as always. So it's just, don't think about it. That's all I got to say. It's something just don't think about. With that, I want to thank everybody for joining us here live for the Smackdown Live review. I want to thank everybody who watches later here on YouTube or listens later on iTunes. You can subscribe right here and hit that bell to get notifications when YouTube wants to send out notifications. I've been told that for the last couple of weeks, people haven't been getting notifications when we're going live. So just keep an eye on, the times around when we usually do go live. So I do try to keep those times consistent every single week. You can follow us again, like I said, right here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. And of course, our website, pwunlimited.net. And I'm going to tell you guys one more time. Go check out our TeePublic store. Link is in the description below. Go check it out. Get our new t-shirt, the Weapon of Choice t-shirt. Make it hardcore. Let me know what you guys think of this shirt. Go check it out. You don't have to get it as a shirt. Our TeePublic store allows you to get it as either a shirt, a hoodie, a tank top. You can get it as a kid's onesie. You can get it as a cell phone cover. You can get it as a tote bag, a pillow, a sticker. So go over there, the Pro Wrestling Unlimited TeePublic store. For some reason, you can't find the link in the description. Head over to our website, pwunlimited.net, and at the very top, there is a link that says Shop PWU. We'll be live again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, same time as we were tonight for the PW Unlimited Wednesday show, talking everything that happened this week in pro wrestling. Have a good night, guys.